Hello people, I am Karishma Dumpala. So this is the third lecture in the History of English Literature series. In the first two lectures, we have discussed about the Anglo-Saxon period and also the Anglo-Norman period. In this video, we are going to talk about the age of Chaucer, its political conditions, society and everything related to that period. The age of Chaucer is a very significant period in the history of English literature. The timeline of this period is from 1340 to 1400. There were three major events that happened during this time. They are, the first one is the 100 Years' War, the second is the Black Death, the third is the Peasants' Revolt, which we will learn in detail during the course of this video. But first, let us talk about the characteristic features of this period. The first characteristic feature is it was an era of transition. The Chaucerian era was an era of transition because there was a social, religious and political turbulence during this period. Chaucer was born during the reign of Edward III, lived through that of Richard II and died the year after Henry IV ascended the throne. In this period, we also can see the transition from medieval English to modern English as well. It was also a period where there is a growth of national sentiment. The consciousness of a nation and the unity of the nation was strengthened during the 100 Years' War, which lasted from 1337 till 1453. It was a war of England with France. There were three important battles we have to remember in the 100 Years' War, in which England won the battles. They are Battle of Crecy, which happened in 1346, the Battle of Poitiers, which happened in 1356, and the Battle of Agincourt, which happened in 1415, in which England has employed the longbowmen method, which is a form of archery. The victory in the 100 Years' War gave a feeling of national pride and self-respect to the people of England. The English nation for the first time felt the existence of a common language and literature. The East Midland speech, which is a form of dialect in the England, which was existed even in the Anglo-Norman period, is very prominent, became the language of capital city and the university's language as well. French and English had amalgamated to form the standard English tongue, which attains its first finest expression in the poetry of Chaucer. In 1362, a law was passed declaring that English would be the language of courts. English became the language of Parliament in 1363 and the language of teaching in school in 1386. As we discussed about the 100 Years' War, now let us talk about the Black Death, which happened from 1348 and 49. It was actually a plague caused by rats, and the plague wiped out around 1/3 of the population of England at that time. The plague reappeared in 1362, 1367 and in 1370. Black Death becomes important as it questions the healing power of clergy, and it also led to the development of medical sciences. During this time, crimes and robberies multiplied. Due to increase in the death rate, labor also became scarce and the wages reached sky high, which will be very hard to control. The lavish lifestyle of kings made the matters even more worse. The 100 Years' War against France, which inculcated the spirit of nationality in the English people, is very expensive. So, to meet these enormous expenses, heavy taxation was laid on poor people like peasants as well. The immediate cause of the heavy taxation is the Peasants' Revolt and the common people rising in revolt under the leadership of Wat Tyler. Now, let's look at the literary characteristics of this age. The first characteristic feature of this age is during the Anglo-Saxon and Anglo-Norman periods, the English language went through various changes, but it was during this period that the English was produced as a mixture of one of the four dialects, that is East Midland dialect, and the French language. The second literary characteristic of this age is that before the age of Chaucer, the writers generally did not mention their names in their works. So, most of the works and their authors were generally unknown. But during and after the period, there began the trend of the authors and works to be known, as they began to mention their names in their works. And the third characteristic feature would be this is an era where there is a tremendous development in the prose. Prose was laid a strong foundation during this period. John Mandeville wrote travel memoir called as Travels of Sir John Mandeville, and John Wycliffe translated Bible into vernacular English. We should also know certain important works of Geoffrey Chaucer. He was the first person to be buried at Westminster Abbey. He was also known as the father of English literature. His most noted work is Canterbury Tales. He has also written many other works like Romaunt of the Rose. It was a translation of Roman de la Rose. He has also written the Book of Duchess, The House of Fame, Troilus and Cresside, The Legend of Good Woman, and many other books. John Wycliffe was known as the morning star of Reformation. He was the first Englishman to challenge the authority of Catholic Church. He did his best to avoid spiritual Christianity in England. He wrote many religious pamphlets. Then there is William Langland, who wrote the very important work called Piers the Plowman. The complete title of this book is The Vision of William Concerning Piers the Plowman. It's a very important allegory. And we have John Gower. He has written many important works. The three chief works of Gower are noteworthy. His first poem is Speculum Meditantis, which was written in French. The second is Vox Clamantis, which was written in Latin. And his third is Confessio Amantis, which was written in English. So, these were some important writers who existed during the period of Chaucer. So guys, that is it for this lecture. I hope you understand the age of Chaucer. Its social, political and religious conditions prevailed during that period. And before leaving, I would like to mention about the video lectures and the test series we are providing. The video lectures covering the syllabus will be made available for you here on YouTube and also the Global Online University app. Regarding the test series we are providing, the entire test series contains about 10 mock tests of 100 questions each, covering the entire syllabus, which would help you to cover the entire syllabus and also analyze your preparation and bring some changes if necessary. We are bringing the test series at affordable prices. The entire series containing 10 mock tests costs around 999 rupees for 6 months. To enroll, download the Global Online University app from the Play Store and select the category English. For further details, contact us on the numbers that are being displayed. I hope you understand whatever we have discussed in this video, and if you did, please do like, share, comment and subscribe. Thank you. Signing off, Karishma Dumpala.